The Greeks love this little guy. He's not so little. This is my beautiful octopus. We all have eaten this grilled in a Greek restaurant, but I'm doing something different today. I'm cooking it on top of the stove in a delicious stew from the island of Crete that has oranges, olives, a little bit of fennel, and a little bit of ouzo. The first thing I have to do is trim this little guy. I'm going to get the head sack off, and then I'm going to turn it over and push out the little beak. We're cutting right here at the base. This is what has to come out next. Sometimes you can just push it out. This is a big guy, so that's going to be a little hard to do. I'm going to cut my octopus into 8 pieces, right along the tentacles. I just want to show you something, though, because you might see in a supermarket or in a fish market an octopus that has just 1 row of suckers. Those aren't the good guys. We want the ones with 2 rows of suckers. It's the real McCoy. We want to get rid of this, too. If we see a little bit of that cartilage in there, that yellow goopy stuff, it just doesn't look very good when it's cooked. This might look like a lot, but it's going to cook down to almost nothing. Where's my best friend? Greek extra virgin olive oil, PDO, from the region of Laconia. This olive oil is unique because it's pressed from 2 different varieties. I'm going to sweat my onions, a little bit of fennel. I'm going to cover the pot and sweat them. And now I'm going to add my garlic. There are many ways to cook a beast. I do it a way that my husband's grandmother taught me many years ago, and that's without any liquid whatsoever in the pot. The Greeks are poets sometimes, and they have an expression for this. They say that the octopus exudes the sea. Cooking octopus is not an exact science. We don't ever know quite how long it's going to take. Let's see what's going on in here. For me, a properly cooked octopus is like a good steak. We have to work at it to get the flavor. We don't want it too soft. It should be a little on the chewy side. My ouzo. My tomato. I'm just using canned chopped tomato right now. The oranges and the bay leaf. I always squeeze the slices a little bit. And some whole black peppercorns and whole green peppercorns. I haven't put any salt in my octopus. Remember, it exudes the sea, so it's usually naturally salty. I'm going to partially cover my pot. There's a lot of liquid in here, and I want to cook that down. This will take about another, from what I can see in there, from about another 30 to 35 minutes. We're ready to add our olives. This just needs another 8 minutes or so of cooking. This is a Greek variety called chalkidiki. It's a green olive. It's from the north of Greece. And this particular olive is very low in salt. It's also organic. I like to serve my octopus with what we Greeks call fava. Don't confuse that with what we know in English as fava beans. For a Greek, fava is a puree of yellow split peas. This is totally one of the simplest dishes in the Greek kitchen. We have our split peas, a little onion, a little bit of lemon juice, salt, bay leaf, olive oil, and at the end, my little secret, some milk. The most important thing in this dish is olive oil. The fava has a neutral flavor. I always add a little bit of onion, sauteed, to my fava. Next, I add my yellow split peas, toss them to coat in the olive oil. And then I add enough water to cover the contents of the pot by about 1.5 inches. I'm adding my bay leaf and a little bit of salt. This whole thing is going to take about an hour, sometimes a little bit more. I keep it partially covered. As soon as it starts to boil, we lower the heat a little bit, and we try to skim the foam off the top. You see those big bubbles on the surface? That's when we know our fava's ready. Almost all the liquid has been absorbed. I always puree my fava with an immersion blender. It's extremely easy. You add olive oil and lemon juice and a touch of milk in alternating doses. I cover my pot with a kitchen towel until the fava sets. Doesn't that look really good?